Ag Bioscience, the #1 ag tech podcast globally, is now available on video. Hear from leaders and innovators across food, animal health, plant science, ag tech, and agriculture. Mondays at 6 a.m. on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. While you're there, subscribe and leave us a review. It's the Ag Bioscience Podcast with Agronovis Indiana. Get more information at agronovisindiana.com.
The internet changed how we work. AI is changing what work gets done. A bank cut loan processing from days to hours. A student built an AI scheduler, improving on-time delivery from under 70% to over 90%. Most teams know AI matters, but aren't sure where to start. InAI is Indiana's statewide AI adoption effort, built with industry, academia, and community partners, helping you move from understanding to action. Visit inaiready.com.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the morning of Tuesday, July 14th, 2026. I'm Alex Braun. New Jersey-based waste solutions company Reworld has launched a partnership with Fort Wayne-based United Dumpsters to help manufacturing companies in Northeast Indiana divert their waste away from landfills. Reworld's Colin Bowen says participating companies can now deliver their waste materials to a transfer station in Fort Wayne, which are then transported to Reworld's thermomechanical treatment facility in Indianapolis for disposal.
Many a times, bulked waste that's being trucked down there may come in the form of 2 to 8 ton loads. Not exactly the most efficient process of hauling waste down to Indianapolis. Through this partnership with United Dumpster, we have the ability to consolidate that waste into 20-ton loads.
Reworld says the process will help eliminate greenhouse gas emissions and reduce truck traffic. Indianapolis City County Council leaders on Monday night took the first step toward pausing new data center development up to the end of 2027. The council's Metropolitan and Economic Development Committee voted 10-3 in favor of a moratorium that still requires approval from the full council and the city's Metropolitan Development Commission. Mayor Joe Hogsett has announced his support for the moratorium as well. Governor Mike Braun's office has awarded more than $62 million in grants for 49 arts and culture projects throughout the state as part of the Regional Economic Acceleration and Development Initiative. The grants, which will support projects in all 15 ready regions, are expected to generate nearly $370 million in additional investment. You can view the full list of projects at InsideIndianaBusiness.com. From the #1 source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media podcast network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise at ibj.com to learn more.
The American Civil Liberties Union of Indiana is suing several branches of the Monroe County government in federal court for what the organization says are unconstitutional conditions at the Monroe County Jail.
The ACLU argues the issue has been ongoing for nearly 2 decades. The class action complaint was filed July 10 against the Monroe County Council, the Monroe County Commissioners, and the Monroe County Sheriff on behalf of plaintiffs Taylor Grubb and Joseph Marrero, who are incarcerated at the jail. According to the court documents, conditions at the jail violate the 14th Amendment rights of pretrial detainees at the jail and the 8th Amendment rights of those imprisoned. Due to double celling, the jail's maximum capacity is currently 287 beds, not including 5 one-person segregation cells and 2 one-person holding cells. Between June 2 and July 3, 2026, the average total population of the jail was just under 260 beds filled, which is more than 90% of capacity, according to the complaint. Jails are considered overcrowded at 80% minimum. Right now, the jail's A and B blocks contain more prisoners than there are beds, with some prisoners sleeping on mattresses on the floors of cells, according to the complaint. In addition, the lawsuit says the jail is more than 40 years old, with significant HVAC problems, structural issues, and plumbing problems, including including broken showers and leaking fixtures, leaving mattresses wet and providing a fertile environment for mold to grow. The ACLU is seeking a permanent injunction requiring the defendants to take every necessary step to ensure that conditions improve at the jail in compliance with the U.S. Constitution. Eniola Lunge, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
The Fort Wayne engineering firm that designed the planned Pufferbelly Trail pedestrian bridge is now in line to oversee the construction of the $7 million project. The Fort Wayne City Council this month preliminarily approved a professional services agreement with Engineering Resources, Inc. to manage and inspect the construction of the pedestrian bridge. The bridge will connect 130 miles of trails in the area and allow the Pufferbelly Trail to span Coliseum Boulevard, one of the busiest roadways in Fort Wayne. Construction is expected from September through the end of 2027. Indianapolis Fire Department Chief Ernest Malone is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now on the IBJ Media app or your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Braun for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.